Hey everyone, if you're into guns, military gear, or just love a good debate about what's the best weapon for a real fight, this one's for you. I'm diving deep into the ultimate question. Which rifle should you pick for a real deal modern war? We're talking about the Russian Kalashnikovs, the AKM, AK-74M, AK-12, versus the American M401. Buckle up, subscribe to the channel, and drop your thoughts in the comments. What's your go-to rifle? Let's get into it. Which rifle to pick for a real war? AKM, AK-74M, AK-12, or M401? Picture this. You're in the thick of it, dust, chaos, gunfire all around. The rifle in your hands isn't just a tool, it's your lifeline. Choosing the right one can mean the difference between making it out or not. This isn't about shooting at a range or collecting cool gear. It's about what works when the bullets are real, the conditions are brutal, and you're fighting for survival. We're comparing four iconic rifles: the AKM, AK-74M, AK-12, and the M401. Forget abstract debates or internet arguments. We're looking at these weapons through the lens of a soldier on a modern battlefield in 2025. Let's break it down. A quick history from Soviet grit to American precision. To get why these rifles are so different, let's take a step back. The AKM, born from Mikhail Kalashnikov's genius in 1959, is the upgraded version of the original AK-47. It's a symbol of rugged reliability. The AK-74, rolled out in 1974, switched to a smaller 5.45 to 39mm round for less recoil and better accuracy. The AK-12, introduced in 2018, is Russia's attempt to bring the Kalashnikov into the modern era. On the American side, the M401, a descendant of Eugene Stoner's AR-15, is the go-to rifle for NATO forces, known for its precision and modularity. Each rifle reflects its roots. The AKs are about simplicity and toughness, built for harsh conditions. The M4 is about tech and precision, designed for a different kind of fight. But which one holds up when the stakes are life and death? Let's dig in. AKM, the old-school powerhouse. The AKM is like that tough grandpa who's seen it all and still gets the job done. Chambered in 7.62 by 39mm, it's a heavy hitter. This rifle is the definition of Soviet engineering. Simple, durable, and ready for anything. Drop in mud, bury it in sand. The AKM will keep firing. But it's not perfect. Why the AKM rocks? Bulletproof reliability. The AKM is a beast. It can take a beating and still work. Stories from battlefields say it can fire even after being run over by a truck. Easy to maintain. You can strip and clean an AKM with one hand in the middle of nowhere. When time's short and you're in a muddy trench, that's a big deal. Stopping power. The 7.62 round hits hard. If you land a shot, it's likely to drop the target. Recoil. That big 7.62 round kicks like a mule. Long bursts. Good luck keeping on target. Heavy ammo. Those rounds are heavier than the 5.45 used by newer AKs. You'll carry fewer magazines, which can be a problem in a long fight. Modding challenges. Want a fancy red dot or thermal sight? The AKM isn't built for that. You'll need aftermarket mounts, which aren't always reliable. Armor penetration. Against modern body armor, the 7.62 round struggles. It might punch through older vests, but newer NATO-grade plates? Not so much. The money angle. AKM's price tag. The AKM is dirt cheap. In 2025, you can pick one up on the global market for $300 to $600, depending on condition. Compare that to an AK-12, which runs $1,000 to $1,500, or an M401, starting at $1,500. Why so cheap? Because there are millions of AKMs out there, sitting in stockpiles from Africa to Asia. But cheap doesn't always mean great. Some of these rifles are old and worn out. The AKM is a legend, but it's showing its age. If you're a veteran who's spent years with this rifle, it's like an extension of your arm. For newbies or anyone wanting modern optics, it's a tough sell. I'd pick the AKM if I knew ammo was plentiful and the fight was up close, but otherwise, it's more about nostalgia than practicality. AK-74M, the balanced choice. The AK-74M, introduced in the early 1990s, is the upgraded version of the AK-74. It uses the 5.45 39mm round, which became the standard for Russian forces. It's reliable, versatile, and still a favorite on the front lines. Why the AK-74M shines. Light ammo. The 5.45 round is lighter than the 7.62, so you can carry 2 or 3 extra magazines. In a firefight, that's a game changer. Low recoil. The smaller round means less kick, making it easier to stay on target, even in full auto. Tough as nails. Like the AKM, the AK-74M laughs at dirt and grime. It's built to last. Upgrade potential. It comes with a side rail called a dovetail for mounting optics. With a little work, you can add modern red dots or thermals. Optics limitations. That dovetail rail isn't compatible with all modern sights. You'll need adapters, which add cost and hassle. Plastic parts. The folding stock and handguard are plastic, not metal. They're decent, but can crack under heavy use. Penetration. The 5.45 round with armor-piercing bullets, like the BS variant, is solid against body armor, but it's not as good as some NATO rounds. The money angle. AK-74M costs. The AK-74M is pricier than the AKM, but still affordable, going for $500 to $1,000 on the global market. Its ammo is a steal. A box of 1,000 5.45 rounds costs about $200 to $300, compared to $400 to $500 for the M4's 5.56 rounds. This makes the AK-74M a budget-friendly option for armies and militias. The AK-74M is my top pick. It's the perfect mix of reliability, simplicity, and versatility. Add a rail adapter, a good red dot, and maybe a new stock, and you've got a rifle that can handle anything from urban combat to long-range engagements. If you're starting fresh, this is the one to learn on. AK-12, the modern kid on the block. The AK-12, adopted in 2018 with an updated version, AK-12M, later, is Russia's bid to keep the Kalashnikov relevant. It's still a 5.45 rifle, but packed with modern features. Why the AK-12 stands out. Sleek design. Picatinny rails mean you can slap on any optic, red dots, thermals, you name it. No adapters needed. Better handling. The adjustable folding stock and improved fire selector make it feel more user-friendly. Slightly better accuracy. A free-floating barrel gives it a small edge in precision over the AK-74M. Durability concerns. Build quality isn't what it used to be. Some soldiers report stocks breaking during grenade launcher use. Tricky maintenance. The non-removable gas tube and odd muzzle device make cleaning a pain, especially in the field. Sights. The stock diopter sight is junk in bad weather, rain, snow, or fog. A red dot helps, but that's extra cash. Muzzle issues. The new muzzle brake design makes it hard to attach suppressors, which is a bummer for stealth ops. The money angle. AK-12's price. The AK-12 is pricey, ranging from $1,000 to $2,000 with optics. Russia's pushing it hard for export, which jacks up the cost. While the 5.45 ammo keeps expenses down, you'll need to budget for accessories to make it combat ready. My take. The AK-12 is a step forward, but it's not perfect. The built-in rails are awesome, but the reliability issues and maintenance headaches are real. If you got a good armor and spare parts, it's a solid choice. Otherwise, I'd stick with the AK-74M. M401, the American dream or a logistic nightmare. The M401, based on the AR-15, is a 5.56 by 45mm NATO rifle. It's lightweight, accurate, and the pride of Western militaries. But does it hold up in a gritty, real-world fight? Why the M401 impresses. Pinpoint accuracy. It's a laser at ranges up to 300 meters, outshining the AKs in precision. Customizable. With Picatinny rails everywhere, you can deck it out with optics, lights, and grips. Lightweight. It's easy to carry, even with all the extras. Ammo scarcity. In a conflict where 5.45 rounds dominate, finding 5.56 ammo is like hunting for gold. Trophies run dry fast. Dirt sensitivity. The M4 hates mud and sand. It needs regular cleaning, which isn't practical in a war zone. Penetration. The 5.56 round, like the green tip M855A1, isn't as good at piercing modern armor as the Russian 5.45 BS round. Learning curve. If you're used to an AK, switching to an M4 takes time. In a pinch, that could be deadly. Grenade launchers. The M4 can use the M203 launcher, but they're rare in captured stashes. Without one, you lose a key tactical advantage. The money angle. M401 costs. The M401 is expensive, starting at $1,500 and climbing to $3,000 with upgrades. Ammo is pricier too, $400 to $500 for 1,000 rounds. The U.S. has pumped billions into arming allies, like $19 billion to Ukraine in 2023, flooding conflict zones with M4s. But without steady ammo supplies, they're just fancy paperweights. My take: the M401 is awesome on a clean range, but in a muddy, chaotic war, not so much. It's great for commanders or drone operators who need a lightweight self-defense weapon, but for frontline grunts, it's a liability. Stick to AKs unless you've got a dedicated ammo pipeline. Real war, what really counts? In a real fight, it's not just about specs. Here's what matters. Ammo availability. 5.45 is king in many conflict zones. 7.62 and 5.56 are harder to come by. Reliability. AK-74M and AKM are rock solid. AK-12 has issues, and M4 needs pampering. Maintenance. AKs can be cleaned in a foxhole. The M4 and AK-12 are fussier. Upgrades. AK-12 is ready for modern optics out of the box. AK-74M needs tweaks, but gets there. AKM and M4 lag behind. Skills. If you've trained on an AK, switching to an M4 is risky. Stick with what you know. The global arms market in 2025 is worth $500 billion. Russia churns out AKs by the millions, keeping costs low. The US bets on high-tech, which makes the M4 pricier. For example, the US spent $19 billion on Ukraine aid in 2023, including M4s, but ammo shortages limit their impact. Russia's AK-12 is a cash cow for exports, but older AK-74MS and AKMs are still the backbone of many armies due to their low cost. For me, it's the AK-74M. It's reliable, easy to maintain, and works with cheap, plentiful ammo. With a few upgrades, it's as modern as you need. The AK-12 is tempting but has kinks to work out. The AKM is for old-school fans, and the M401 is better left to collectors or rear-line units. Choose based on your skills, your mission, and what you can actually get your hands on. Yo, if you love this deep dive, hit that subscribe button, drop a comment. AK or M4, what's your pick? Let's spark a debate. Fire.